We have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere.
A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
Do you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcast. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable, simple,
Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent.
Southside has been making it pretty fun to watch the last couple of weeks. Getting their first win of the season against Wayne, 29-28. What a performance by Trevor Hapner, who can pretty much do anything for him. Tight end, fullback, linebacker, defensive end. He had a big game and had a strip sack that he took right from the hands of the Generals and ran it in for 6. So Trevor Hapner making the Summit City Sports top 10 this week.
No doubt about it. He got strong consideration for Player of the Week by game night as well. You mentioned some of this already: 12 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 QB sacks, 2 catches for 33 yards. Oh, and he averaged 32.6 yards per punt. Oh, and lest we forget that strip sack slash pick, return, fumble return. Unbelievable play. Totally changed that game. Without it, Southside does not come out with their first win of the season. That team is really, I give those kids a lot of credit. The coaches, they're sticking together. They're finding some more continuity on the offensive side of the ball with Roosevelt Norfleet Jr., the coach's son at quarterback. Matt Morris is running hard. Javante Malone is kind of their playmaker. The line, it keeps improving from week to week. And then the defense, I think all along we felt like they had players on that side of the ball, like Hapner, like Jalen Lattimore, like Maxwell Burney. This is a team that keeps getting better, and they're going to be scary for their remaining opponents. Now, maybe Carroll, they don't put a scare in Carroll because of that prolific passing game, but Northside, Lures, maybe even Homestead down the road. I wouldn't be surprised if Southside gets at least one more win here down the stretch.
They're an opportunistic team, that's for sure. It seems like they make the most of what's given to them. And this is an interesting game traveling to Carroll. Carroll going to be beat up a little bit, but, man, their weapons, you got to believe they're a heavy favorite. Carroll enters this game with a win streak of 0, so they have lost 1. Southside enters with the win streak coming in. So that part's interesting, but outside of that, Jeffrey Becker and all those weapons seem like it's going to be too much for Southside to get win number 2.
You would think so, but again, they're coming off a short week. Carroll is. They've got their big game next week at Homestead. I mean, let's face it, that's their rival, their 6A rival from their days back in the Northeast Hoosier Conference. Southside right now is playing like they believe. They think they can beat anybody on any given night. Each week it looks like they're getting better and better. They've got nothing to lose. They know they're going out to the 4-5 and they're going to be heavy underdogs, but they're going to play excited football. Carroll, are they going to be potentially flat because of that disappointing loss to Bishop Dwenger last week, or will the Chargers rise up and that air show reemerges like it did the first 4 weeks? I don't know. I think Southside's defense is better than people give it credit for, Jeff. I mean, certainly, you look at Carroll's schedule to start with. Bishop Lewis, again, giving up a ton of yards and points this year. Northside, Snyder has to this point, especially against passing teams. Northrop has. Dwenger kind of exposed Carroll to a certain degree and shut out the Chargers for a half of football. I don't think anybody thought that was possible. You got to wonder now, is Southside able to take something from that Dwenger film and apply it to this week's matchup and keep this game closer than what people think? We've got Carroll winning by 35 points. A lot of people think that's too low. We'll find out tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if Southside has a spirited effort, especially at least for a quarter or two.
Yeah, and I think what Dwenger found out last week is what we've been saying all year long is who's going to emerge as a running back for Carroll. And the answer has really been nobody in the big games. Hunter Mertz, 3 carries. Jeff Becker, 12 for -10. Granted, these are the max prep stats, not always 100% accurate. But the point being is they didn't have a KJ Tittman or even a Devin Tittman or even a Louis Tittman, to go to in that role. We've seen a couple different running backs for Carroll this year, but it just seems like that's what teams are going to say. We got to take away the pass first and not even, in Dwanger's case, worry about the run.
Yeah, clearly that's the focus. If you play Carroll, you just can't let Jeff Becker throw for 460 yards and 8 touchdowns, right? You got to keep him somewhat human. I'm not sure what the kryptonite is other than contain him. Don't let him get out of the pocket easily. You got to hit him and get pressure on him from different angles, which they did last week with their linebackers. And then your back end has to make plays. Bishop Dwinger's defensive backs, again, we talked about earlier, much maligned. They made great plays. Can Southside's defensive backs have a similar performance tonight? We're going to find out, but I think the antidote is there. I mean, there's the recipe is there for folks to follow. Hey, this is kind of how you can defend this team. And until somebody can prove that they can run the ball consistently, we thought maybe Luke Carmody was that guy 2 weeks ago, had a real nice performance running the ball against Northrop. But again, that was a 40-point game for the Chargers. So it's hard to say if that was a aberration or is that something that they can fall back on. I personally feel like Carroll, to beat Homestead next week and to be a threat in the 6A playoffs, I think the Chargers have to dedicate themselves to running the ball a little bit more effectively. I thought they abandoned their running attack too early last week, and it almost ended up being, a desperation time a little bit in the second half where they were throwing a lot of jump balls to Mason Englert, which is not a bad option. Don't get me wrong. Mason Englert, look at his numbers this year, Jeff. 35 catches for 837 yards, and no one's close to him in the 35 teams that we cover in game night. He's running away with the receiving leader list right now. I don't see anybody catching him as long as he stays healthy. So it's not a bad option. Jamison Coverstone, though, against Bishop Dwenger, only 1 catch. Cam Hedgecock, which we talked about last week, we thought maybe he'd play a bigger role. He did. He had 5 receptions, but no big plays for Hedgecock. They got Bowden Height and Cooper Rudolph, 2 capable receivers. They need to keep spreading the wealth so people can't, double team Mason Englert with a safety over top, but they have to run the ball. And even if it's maybe some more quarterback draws with Becker, maybe some bootlegs, they've got to find ways to utilize his legs a little bit more too, to get something, some production on the ground.
Yeah, it didn't seem like the design QB runs really worked last week for Becker. It was when he was flushed out of the pocket and saw, some open space to run to, that really worked for him. Once the field gets spread out a little bit more with those wide receivers going downfield, Becker is extremely electric. He's easily the best runner, probably in Northeast Indiana, at the quarterback position, passing the ball too. And like you said, with Englert there, 835 yards. Right behind him, Jordan Turner. And by right behind him, 333 yards beneath Mason Englert. He's just an amazing receiver with his body control, with his ability to come up with catches through contact.
Yeah, and again, I think he's been a little bit of a security blanket for Jeff Becker, where he knows if he's scrambling and there's nothing there underneath, he always has that outlet to throw it up for number 7. And more times than not, Mason Englert comes down with the ball. He's a fantastic player. I think he's vastly underappreciated as far as college recruiters are concerned. I think he's really come a long way. I know he's a traction guy that's really worked really hard at his craft. And I think Mason Englert is deserving whatever comes his way in terms of postseason accolades and scholarship opportunities, because he's really worked hard at his craft and having a tremendous season.
Yeah, one thing I'd like to say about him is, he's 5'11", 180. He plays like he's 6'3". What quarterbacks like in a receiver is their catch radius, meaning the ball doesn't have to be perfect and the receiver is still going to get to it. I feel like he knows where the ball is projected to be. He does a good job of getting his body in position to one-on-one make the grab against a DB. And more times than not, he's going to make that catch. He's just had an outstanding year and obviously a first-team All-SAC performer, but really looking like a 6A All-State performer with those numbers.
Yeah, if his numbers progress this way, and that's asking a lot, but if he ends up with somewhere between 15 and 1,800 yards, through sectionals or going into regionals, if Carroll's fortunate enough to still be alive, I agree with you. I think he's got, at that point, all-state type numbers, and he's going to draw more attention. I mean, make no mistake. I mean, people are going to start cheating a safety over top. They put him out wide, and maybe Andy Papagiannis, the offense coordinator, Carroll, will move him a little bit more to the slot sometimes, just to give people a different look, because he's going to draw more and more attention these last 4 or 5 weeks.
Good evening and welcome to Carroll High School here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Tyler Sorg alongside Balin Height. And before we get going, we will bring you a quick word from our sponsors. Today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports, like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Kelly Automotive Group is Indiana's #1 automotive group. With over 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from, please visit drivekelly.com. Simple, transparent, reliable. Tom Steel Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They will help you find the perfect tire for your vehicle. And other auto repair services like brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions. Enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. You're invited to join ProFed Credit Union, where we get to know you to better serve you. Sign up online in 5 minutes or stop by a branch. Join ProFed today and start owning your financial future at profedcu.org. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process. From bid to build, visit OttenwellerContracting.com. Summit Volleyball 14 and under tryouts start September 30th. Join their head coaches Trish Miller, Allie Bennett, and Doug Helsum September 30th at 7:30 at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Sign up today at SummitVB.com. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. El Azteca Mexican Restaurant has been a Fort Wayne favorite since 1973. El Azteca Mexican recipes are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Visit elaztecarestaurant.com. iCryo specializes in whole-body cryotherapy, body sculpting, cryofacials, infrared sauna, and compression therapy services. Check out Jalen Smith's signature location on Coliseum Boulevard by Blaze Pizza. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. We are the region's largest integrated sports medicine team, providing athletes specialized services from improving their performance to recovering from injuries. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. All right, Balin, well, it's been the tale of 2 seasons for both of these teams. Carroll starting out 4-0, Southside starting out 0-4. Then the opposite results last week. Carroll dropping their first game of the season, Southside getting a big win. Tough week for Carroll.
Yeah, it was for Carroll, and really it comes down to not being able to get the stops near the end of the game. The defense played well last week against Dwenger in the loss against Dwenger, but it couldn't get the stops down the stretch. The Carroll offense also kind of stuttered a little bit in the first half, couldn't quite get the points on the board that they're used to. I mean, this is a Carroll offense that we're accustomed to seeing 40, 50-point games nightly so far this season. Last week, a little bit of a different situation, only 21 points against Dwenger, who typically puts out a pretty good defense. And, the quarterback for the Chargers, Jeff Becker, has looked good as a junior. He's shattering records, but struggled in that first half. 3 interceptions in total in the game for him. That's his first 3 interceptions that's his first 3 interceptions across the whole season, but nonetheless in just one game. But it was a struggle. He kind of got on the same page with his wide receiver Mason Englert there at the end, and they figured things out. I think that game, doesn't tell the rest of the season for Carroll. I think they still have a long way to go. Obviously, you're still playing for at least a 3-way tie in the SAC conference, so a lot to look forward to for the Chargers, and it starts getting back on the road, or getting back on the right road, I should say, with a win against Southside tonight.
And Southside, a team that had a really slow start to the season, struggling with penalties and turnovers early, then really cleaning things up last week against Wayne, putting together a second-half comeback highlighted by a Trevor Hapner 70-yard strip, sack, recovery, and return for the touchdown. And Trevor Hapner, the player to watch on both sides of the field for this Southside team, a player that can catch passes, can make big plays on defense. And then you also have to pay attention as well to Roosevelt Norfleet, the third, the quarterback of this Southside team. Has really improved throughout the season, had his best passing performance last week, throwing a touchdown toward the end to Ashton Johnson to bring Southside close, and then ultimately capping off the win with a miraculous play on 4th and 15. Javante Malone, what looked to be at first a wide receiver pass, ended up being a play where he cut across the field, ran it in for the touchdown, and put the Archers up by 1 to give them their first win of the season. So obviously Carroll tonight being a heavy favorite, but give Southside a ton of credit for pulling off their first win of the season and coming into tonight with some momentum.
Well, absolutely. And not only was it the first win of the season for Southside, it was their first win in almost a year. They beat the Generals last year in the regular season, and then they came into this season. It was 363 days exactly since Southside's last win. And you mentioned it, Tyler. They have guys in places who can make plays, but you're going to be hard-pressed to check in those skill positions, especially guys who aren't seniors. They don't have a whole lot of veteran players in this team. It's a lot of younger guys kind of having to figure things out on the fly, and I think you've seen an example of that throughout the first couple of games this season, and obviously it paying off with the win against Wayne, but we're about set and underway here.
Trevor Hapner, the Renaissance man, kicks off. Ball received by Dylan Bennett, and he'll go up the right side and be pushed out of bounds right at the 45-yard line.
Bennett had a nice return right there, and he really put the wood down as he came near just past the 45-yard line, but a nice hit there and a good start for the Chargers as this offense marches out there. And the names you need to know here for the Carroll offense, obviously, Jeffrey Becker, the junior quarterback, 6 foot, 185 pounds, and then perhaps one of the best wide receivers this area has seen in a while, in Mason Englert, number 7 for the Carroll Chargers, also a senior. 35 catches for Englert, 835 yards, 11 touchdowns this season.
And Becker loss of a couple there on that first play. Now Becker again in the pistol.
Carroll wants to work quick. That's not something that they're accustomed to shying away from.
Reception made by Cooper Rudolph, and he'll advance past the 40, step out right around the 37.
Yeah, Rudolph found some room there on the route, and Southside just kind of laid off in the coverage, allowed Rudolph to get the catch and not only secure and get a couple more yards there after the catch.
Now looking to pass again. Reception made by Bowden Height. We'll see where they mark it. Near first down. Be about 3 yards short.
Chargers have identified something they like on that left side. Becker's gone there twice through the air already.
Ball's out. And Becker able to fall back on top of it. Looked like a mistiming on the exchange there.
I think there was a bobble between Becker and Lazoff on the handoff, and Carroll really fortunate to come back up on that one, as there's a couple of Southside defenders in the vicinity of that ball. Becker kind of had to twist his body around the defender, actually, to get on top of that one, but no harm, no foul here for Carroll if they can pick up the first down.
Now Becker looking to throw on the third, going deep. And the touchdown is made. Mason Englert.
It's about as easy as it gets for Carroll. Good block there on the right edge by Aiden Lazoff, giving Becker just a little bit more time here for this touchdown catch, but Englert left all alone, as you're going to see it on the AP Traction replay. Becker all the time, nice block there from Lazoff, and Mason Englert all by himself in the end zone for the score. Carroll on the board early.
And Sebastian Lopez knocks the extra point through. We'll take a break. Carroll leading 7-0 early. You're watching Summit City Sports.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Welcome back. Carroll set to kick off. Evan Jester. And back to receive for the Archers, Javante Malone and Matthew Morris. Deep kick, and Malone will take it at the goal line. And they'll call it a touchback.
All right, so we're going to see what this Southside offense can come out and do in response. Carroll likes to score the ball quick. Southside, a little bit more of a change of pace here as they're going to look to put the ball on the ground and try to run, establish that run game early is what head coach Norfleet wants to do offensively, and we'll see how they're able to come out and do that.
And Southside, a team that will use multiple backs, but backfield certainly being headlined by Matthew Morris. Had a 50-yard touchdown run, took care of all 70 yards in that scoring drive last week against Wayne.
He's lined up on that right side. Keep an eye out for number 1.
And Morris gets the handoff. And he'll put a nice run together on first down. Stopped about a yard short of the first.
Yeah, that's something that Carroll struggled with a little bit this season is that rushing defense. They're allowing just over 200 yards on the ground per game to teams. Dwenger really utilized the run last week, and look for Southside to do more of the same.
After a little official deliberation, Southside will pick up the first down. So 1st and 10, and Norfleet from under center. Again, he'll give to Morris, and not as much, but he will pick up maybe a yard. Looks like he'll be marked just inches ahead of the original line of scrimmage.
We'll have to watch Carroll defensively here. They're probably going to want to try to move closer and closer, almost make Southside throw the ball, try to beat him through the air. As you saw a couple of guys from the secondary. I saw Dynan in on the tackle, and they're not playing very far back at all.
Carroll defense all within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage as Norfleet looking to throw. The reception is made by Kamari Bragg. He has room to run. And Kamari Bragg knocked out of bounds after a gain of about 17.
Bragg knew the hit was coming, or what he thought might be coming, but did a good job of securing the ball there and then picked up a couple of yards, shaking a few tackles. We'll take a look at it real quick on the AP Traction replay. Good looking pass, though, from Norfleet, the third, just to get off that left side and let his playmaker make a play.
And an important play for Southside early to establish some confidence in the pass game.
That's right. Any momentum Southside can take from that win against Wayne and push into this game against Carroll, a game where they're not heavily favored at all, is going to be a big boost for the rest of the season.
The give on first down to Jalen Lattimore. Not much room to work with, and looks like that will be a short loss.
Southside likes to run the big guys out of the backfield. It's one of the few teams in the area that will still play that old school style of football. I know Wayne has started to put it more on the ground this year, but Southside not afraid to take it right in the teeth of the defense.
Carroll stacking the box on second down. And Norfleet gives the pitch to Morris, and he'll be swallowed up in the backfield for a big loss.
Yeah, Carroll all over that one, and you mentioned it, Tyler. They were playing pretty close to the line there, expecting the run. The run came. Nice coverage overall there from the Carroll defense.
Now on 3rd and long. It'll be interesting to track what set Southside comes out and have been working with a lot of one receiver sets here early. Now in an obvious passing situation.
Yeah, they're going to have to pick this one up through the air, and they're going to test that arm of Norfleet once again. He's been good so far tonight. He's going to make a big play here.
Norfleet looking to throw under pressure, and he'll go down.
There's a nice break there at the edge by number 16, Aaron Jackway. He got the initial bump, and then Mark Murray finishing off the tackle. We'll take a look at it real quick on the AP Traction replay, and Southside's going to have to punt. But we'll watch this edge break on that left side as Jackway got all the way around there, and then that was it. All Mark Murray needed to finish that sack and the tackle.
So now Trevor Hapner back to punt for the Archers on what is a fourth and 19.
Trevor Hapner, like you mentioned, Tyler, can do a lot. That punt might have gotten tipped there at the line. Not going to turn out as a great result.
And that will go out right around the 45, maybe 44-yard line in the. So they'll mark it at the 49, and the Carroll offense will retake the field looking for another score.
Yeah, that's the big thing with Carroll, and we saw Northrop a couple of weeks ago make that mistake. Special teams just couldn't reverse the field after the offense failed to convert, and you cannot help this Carroll offense out at all. They will take every inch they get.
4 receivers for Becker on first down and a short field to work with.
Yeah, the Southside secondary is going to have to stay on it early because it is no secret Carroll wants to throw the ball.
Looking to throw and broken up. Devontae Williams getting in there.
Yeah, Carroll looking just for the short out. And Williams was right there breaking that one up. 36 tackles. He leads the secondary in tackles for Southside this season, as well as an interception. He can make plays. He's very active.
Play action, and the reception is made, and falling Jamison Coverstone.
And Coverstone's a guy that Carroll wants to stay active offensively. Just the one catch against Dwenger last week. Good to see him getting the ball in his hands early in this one for Carroll.
Carroll wasting no time. Becker again dropping back. Looked to be a mix-up there. Unable to connect with Cameron Hedgecock.
Yeah, Cam Hedgecock's a guy that Carroll really wants to start getting going offensively. Kind of had a slower start to the season, dealing with a little bit of an injury maybe. But played a lot against Dwenger last week. Hauled in 6 catches and now out there again on that left side.
So a 2nd and 10 for the Chargers. 6:37 remaining in the first quarter. The give, working through the middle of the field and finding some more yards and a first down. Aiden Lazoff.
Nice looking run there by Lazoff, just cutting up the defenders. Going right up the middle, following the blocks, and then makes a play.
And a holding call against Carroll will nullify that first down run.
It's one of the toughest penalties in high school football is that hold, especially on a converted first down. It can just absolutely kill a drive.
And we've seen it from Carroll early, the hurry-up offense, probably a faster pace than Southside's had to defend all season.
It can wear defenses out, that's for sure.
Under some pressure, Becker escaping. And he'll be stopped short of the line of scrimmage, but Becker doing a nice job, able to avoid what could have been an even bigger loss.
Yeah, Jeffrey Becker makes plays that, well, I'll just say junior quarterbacks shouldn't be making at the high school level, but he somehow does. And that one he couldn't quite slip out of there. He almost broke the tackle, but 9 sacks last week for Becker. He's got to be careful, especially when he's moving around that pocket. That offensive line's got to keep him protected as Southside got back there.
So a 3rd and 21. Becker under some pressure, going deep. Reception made inside the 5. Mason Englert, unbelievable.
And Mason Englert's going to make a couple of those plays tonight where you're just not going to believe that he's going to be able to cover the ground and get to that ball. As we'll see if we can get to the replay here. We'll probably wait as Carroll's going to go hurry up here. But Englert, a second catch, and it's a big one.
And Becker, untouched, into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers.
There's those legs of Jeffrey Becker. He can put it on the ground and run 38 carries, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, make it 4 on the season for Becker on the ground. Take a look at it quickly on the AP Traction replay. Southside still trying to get back across the line. And Becker just found a gap, punched it through.
Sebastian Lopez connects on the PAT. Carroll leads 14-0. We'll be right back.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Welcome back after the Becker rushing touchdown. Carroll set to kick off. Evan Jester. Javonte Malone will take it inside the 5, loses the ball, picks it back up, trying to make something happen, but he'll be taken down right around the 5 by Braden Steely.
Yeah, Braden Steely, younger brother of Tucker Steely. Those Steely boys can make plays defensively, and they hit hard. That was a big-time hit there, and now it's going to be a tough offensive spot from Southside in the shadow of their end zone.
So a tough starting position will be just outside the 5. Southside showing some offensive ability there on that first drive. Now Norfleet, he'll give it off to Morris, trying to work to the outside, and he'll power ahead and be stopped right around the 10-yard line.
Morris did a good job of breaking that left edge and picking up a couple of yards, but really what we saw on that drive by Southside the first time through was a success through the air. You've got to get the ball into the hands of your playmakers, and they want to get Morris involved in the ground game, but I say why not try the air again? Carroll expects to run here. That's what you've been known for, but showed some success already through the air. Let's go back to it. See if we can move the chains a little bit.
2nd and 6. And the give again to Morris. He'll pick up positive yardage and set up a 3rd and 3, maybe 4 for the Archers.
Another thing about sticking the ball on the ground as well is Southside has a lot of guys playing both ways, and when you can give your defense a little bit of a rest, it can help them stay, well, in the ability to keep up with that Carroll offense. It likes to move it fast, so keeping the ball on the ground at least extends the time, gives your defense a little bit of a rest.
Tight set on 3rd down. Hapner going in motion. And the give for the first down run, Jalen Lattimore, but a flag. And as you mentioned, the devastating holding call will take away a first down.
It's the toughest penalty in high school sports is that holding call. You can just completely push a drive and derail it. Now 3rd and short turns into a 3rd and long on what was already a converted first down. Now a little bit of pressure here for Southside as well. If you can't convert here, looking at a punt out of the end zone.
So just under 4 minutes to go here in quarter 1. And it'll be Kamari Bragg out wide to the left on what will be a 3rd and 8. Norfleet looking to throw, and that ball past Trevor Hapner. So a quick 3 and out.
Number 8, Jorge Valdez on the coverage. Gonna bring up 4th down.
Take a look at that stop on the AP Traction replay real quick as Southside's marching the punt team out. Good break by Carroll on that right side, making Norfleet push the play, and I think that's Tucker Steely in there laying the hit on Norfleet, breaking up that pass. Carroll going to coming after Hapner here. So they're going to try to keep this one in the end zone, and Hapner just gets it away.
And a flag down in the end zone.
Yeah, they might have hit Hapner there after the kick. We'll see what this does as far as field position. This official's still kind of deliberating here.
On the previous play, though, on the punt, Hapner doing a nice job of getting that ball away.
Yeah, that Carroll defense, or punt coverage rather, was just all over him and just found the lane to get that ball up and out of there. And it turned into what was a pretty good punt. And obviously the penalty yard is going to be tacked on there. And I think Southside might, because of the penalty earlier, Southside's not going to get the first down off of this kick, but it's going to make it 4th and short. I would still expect a punt this early. You're already down 2 scores.
Especially inside your own 15.
Yeah, not a great place to be going for it. I mean, it's 4th and something you could pick up. But maybe, like you said, not inside the 15-yard line.
So penalty is declined, and
so after all that time, all that deliberation, talking, trying to figure out the spot of the ball, it gets completely wiped out.
So the Chargers will start at the 48-yard line. And an interesting choice, given that maybe with a little more breathing room, Hapner may have been able to push the Chargers back a little further.
To be honest with you, I think the fear might have been there just because of how close that Carroll team, or that special teams team got to Hapner. I think you're just fortunate it got out of the end zone. It was a pretty good punt out, considering it was out of the end zone. So I think Southside will take that.
Becker looking to throw, and that pass over the head of Coverstone.
Yeah, they were trying to set up, but it was screened downfield. Rudolph and Height were ready to block the defenders there, but that ball just sailed up and over the head of Coverstone. A little bit of a miscommunication there, and 2nd down coming for Carroll. I'd like to remind everybody we'll bring the scores from around the area as well. A couple of games Carroll is keeping an eye on. That Dwenger and Concordia game could change the race of the SAC conference title. As right now, if every team were to win out, it would be a 3-way tie, but Carroll and Homestead still set to play next week, so that could change things as well, and it will change things. But a lot to look forward to in this conference title race.
So on 3rd down, the give, and a nice run, able to spin ahead, and he'll be taken down at the 20-yard line, Aiden Lazoff.
Yeah, Lazoff has that ability just to shoot through the line and that burst of speed type of back. As I think we're going to get a stop, get a timeout by Southside. We'll take a quick second to look at the replay there on that run by Lazoff. As the give, and just nice hole made by the offensive line for the Chargers. Lazoff a little bit of a flip there at the end, a little somersault rather. No style points on that one, no extra yards for the style there, Tyler. So we got a timeout. I think we're going to take a quick break as well.
3 minutes to go in the first. We'll be right back.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
So a 1st and 10 for the Chargers as we come back. 3 receivers to the left for Becker, and he's looking to throw. Going to the end zone, and the catch is made. Mason Englert in the end zone. Touchdown, Carroll.
That was set up by the block on the left edge by Reeve Muncie. Gave Becker all the time he needed to launch that one perfectly in the basket for Mason Englert. We'll take a look at that on the AP Traction replay. As Becker finds the space, Muncie with a nice block off the left edge. And into the hands of Englert. I feel like a broken record. We've said that one so many times this season.
PAT is good. Carroll leading 21-0. 2:53 to go here in the first quarter.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Welcome back. A 26-second drive capped off with a Mason Englert receiving touchdown. And now the Chargers set to kick off. Evan Jester and Malone will let this one go into the end zone for the touchback.
In just a moment on that touchdown drive for Carroll, this is exactly the way Carroll wants to play, and they've tried to play all season long, and what's made them successful is they know they can put up points, they know they can put them up fast. That's the directive the entire game for Carroll. Put up the points as fast as you can, take the team out before the game's really even started. And I mean, we're sitting at 2:53 left in the first quarter, and Carroll with already 3 scores. And they looked pretty flawless offensively.
So now Southside starting at the 20-yard line after being inside their own 10 to start the previous drive. And Norfleet will begin in the shotgun. The give is to Morris, and he'll fall forward and get out past the line of scrimmage for a gain of about 1.5 yards.
I was going to add, Tyler, too, that you're seeing 2 receivers now in the formation for Southside. I mean, down 3 scores, you're obviously going to have to start throwing the ball here if you want to get back in the game, and that's kind of an area where we look to see Southside maybe try to focus on this last drive.
So Malone in the slot and Bragg out wide left. But again, the give to Morris, and he'll get a little jersey pull from the back and not find much yardage.
I believe that was Hunter Mertz almost just coming from the ground there, bringing Morris down. Just got the hand on the jersey, able to rip him down. Hunter Mertz has that type of strength. 55 tackles on the season. Leads that linebacking group for Carroll.
So after a couple Morris carries on 1st and 2nd down, a 3rd and 6 for the Archers, and see who they look to here as 3 receivers will be set to the left. Norfleet getting some pressure, and he'll be intercepted. Interception made by Tucker Steely, and now a short field to work with for the Chargers.
Good looking interception there from Tucker Steely. He read that one all the way into the hands. So we'll take a look at it on the AP Traction replay here off that right side. Norfleet looked down that left side the entire time, never even saw Steely as he picked that one off.
Well, now maybe an opportunity here for Carroll to have an even shorter scoring drive as they'll begin on the Archer 11-yard line. Becker looking to throw. Gets a nice clean pocket and wide open Coverstone, but a flag is down.
Looks like a hold once again on the Chargers.
And for his clean of a pocket Becker had right there. Maybe something had to be up.
Yeah, a little too much time there, and it was a pretty blatant hold. I believe it was on number 55, Reed Muncie. And Carroll will have to scoot things back and try it again here.
But for Southside this season, the strength of that defense has been the front seven. Certainly getting a test in the secondary tonight as they'll load the box up here on first down. Becker under a little more pressure this time, looking to the end zone. Catch is made. Touchdown, Mason Englert again. The circus catch.
He makes so many of those type of catches. It's just, it's hard to have words sometimes for what Mason Englert can do catching the ball. I mean, we'll take a look at it on the replay here. And Becker knew where he was going the entire way. He just needed the space to step up and throw it. And Englert just right over the top of the defender. That's just too easy for Mason Englert. You cannot give him any space.
4 touchdowns, down to 118 in the first quarter. Carroll leading. We'll be back in a moment.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Welcome back. Evan Jester kicking it out of the back of the end zone. And now Southside looking for a cleaner drive after an interception ended their last one.
Second quarter score, Northside 14, Homestead 7, Northrop 14, Lures 7.
See if the Archers try to get Matthew Morris to the outside a little bit more on this drive. That's been his sweet spot this season. Malone going in motion, and he'll cut up the field, but find no running room as he'll lose 2, maybe 3 yards on that first down play.
Carroll defense all over that one once again, and if Southside's going to have any chance of really getting the offense moving, they're going to have to try something different as far as putting the ball on the ground. I mean, Carroll is just focusing in on the run, and they're not going to let them get very far. And really for Southside, you've got to be careful here because you do not want to give Carroll the ball back this early again. I mean, this 28 points already for Carroll. Southside needs to find some momentum on this drive.
And the give to Matthew Morris. He'll get some of that lost yardage back and get back to the original line of scrimmage. And we're under 30 seconds, so we'll see if the Archers get a playoff before we reach the end of quarter one.
That Carroll front four has really been rotated in and out this season, but some guys have stepped up. One of those guys being number 64, Ethan Klinger, making the tackle there. 26 tackles now, 27 rather, on the season for Klinger.
And the time runs out on the first quarter, so a 3rd and 10 for the Archers after the break.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We believe in sharing positive stories and are excited to set the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Basketball is such a reactionary sport, and we talk all the time about your first 3 steps are the most important: powering out, exploding, the things that they're teaching our kids with changing direction quicker, getting a stronger core. Those things have been very valuable for our athletes.
3rd and 10 to start the second quarter, and Morris getting the pass out of the backfield, trying to get into the open field. He'll be stopped well short of the first down, but a flag flies.
Yeah, Southside having problems with keeping the flags in the pockets of the officials tonight, as we're looking for maybe another hold or block in the back.
So now a 4th and 10. Excuse me, a 4th and 8. And the punt team will take the field yet again.
Yeah, we'll get some updates from around the SAC as far as scores go. Northrop 14, Bishop Luers 7. That's 10:46 left in the second quarter. Snyder leads Wayne 7-0 at the end of the first. And out in the NE8, Leo up 27-0.
Hapner able to get that one away after a bad snap. And solid punt. Carroll will begin their drive at their own 37-yard line. So now the Chargers likely having to open up their offense a little bit more with a longer field to work with, starting on the plus side of the field the previous 2 drives.
Well, you'd think so generally for most offenses, but when you've got Mason Englert and Jeff Becker, it really doesn't matter as far as what the playbook looks like. You can expand it and throw it. You can do a whole lot of things, and I would not be surprised if they go right back to Englert here.
Two players in the backfield on first down. Becker looking to throw, and he'll tuck it and run. And Hapner will spin him down, but not after a Charger first down is picked up.
Quick update here on the statistics as far as, well, the Mason Englert counter, we'll call it that. 4 catches for Englert, 116 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'd call that pretty good efficiency.
No question there. And into the open field. Lazoff, touchdown.
Good job there by Aiden Lazoff. Once again, just fundamental running, finding the gap in the offensive line, pushing through it. And then at that point, just turned on the Jets. As he was quick, we didn't even get the he was so fast, we didn't get the replay all the way on him. As all we're going to catch is the blur there at the end, as just chases the defender out of the end zone. Nice looking run there by Lazoff.
Low snap, but the PAT is up and good for Sebastian Lopez. 35-0, Chargers lead, 10:57 remaining in the first half. We'll be back. You're watching Summit City Sports.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Welcome back. After the Lazoff touchdown, Carroll set to kick off. This one will be taken right around the 10-yard line, but it's fumbled. And after a big bounce, the ball's still moving. Carroll able to fall on top of it. I believe Evan Jester.
Yeah, Jester, the kicker, got back on top of that ball. And sometimes when things are going good, they're really going good. And that's the example right now for Carroll. As we'll take a look on the replay. That might be the top play as far as kicking goes tonight. Little chip shot, deflection right back to yourself.
That ball went more than 20 yards off the bounce. So on first down, Becker, under some pressure, will roll left, throw down the field, and that one will be over the head of Cameron Hedgecock, but a flag. And another hold on the Carroll offense. And although there haven't been many negatives, you could say, for Carroll tonight, the holding call is starting to pile up here in the first half.
Yeah, this is going to be an example, one of those things you go back and practice this next week, especially coming into a game against Homestead, where you try to look at some of the things that didn't go well, and that's going to be definitely the top of the list for Carroll on the offensive end. When you're up 35-0, you can get away with a couple of holds here and there, but when it's a much tighter game, not typically the same.
Two receivers to each side for Becker on 1st and 20. And he'll look to throw again. Pass complete, and spinning forward, Cameron Hedgecock picks up a first down and a couple more.
Good looking pass and catch there from Becker to Hedgecock. And Hedgecock just kind of maneuvered his way around the defender and found that ball. Try to get the replay here on the next play.
Becker rolling right, open receiver, Coverstone cutting back inside. He'll work his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Carroll.
Couldn't even get the last replay off there before Carroll ready with the score again. Jamison Coverstone punched it in once again. I mentioned just one catch for Coverstone last week. Big part of this Carroll offense. Good to see him getting the ball in his hands in this one. Take a quick peek at it on the AP Traction replay. Coverstone finds the corner and then cuts it right back towards the middle of the field. Had to make one more move there. Southside secondary coming in on him, but punches it in.
And give some credit there to his receiver on the right side, setting a nice downfield block as the PAT connects for Sebastian Lopez. So with 10:24 to go in the first half, Carroll leading 42-0. We'll be right back.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Welcome back. The kick will go out of bounds. Heads up play right there by Matthew Morris to not even consider taking that, let it bounce out, and now the best starting position for Southside tonight.
Obviously, you don't want to take the penalty there, kicking the ball out of the bounds, but I bet Evan Jester's still feeling pretty good about that recovery on the last kickoff there.
Yeah, you won't see too many plays like that, but now an opportunity here for the Archers. There's still a lot of time to go in the first half to find some positive momentum. They had a solid first drive before being halted, so.
Yeah, that Carroll offense just kind of took hold of this game early on, and 42-0, it could be more here. We're still in double digits left in the second quarter.
So Norfleet gives it to Morris. He'll try to work off tackle, and he'll get past the 35-yard line for a gain of 2 yards.
Yeah, Matthew Morris does a good job as a runner, just getting that outside edge, whether he's working left to right or right to left. It's been one of the positives tonight for Southside.
So we dip under 10 minutes in the first half. Norfleet will work with Morris to his right. And another give to Morris, trying to get him to the outside. Gets a couple decent blocks, and he'll be tackled out of bounds right around the 42. Stop on the play by Mark Murray.
Another good-looking run there for the senior. He has been the spark plug of this offense for Southside.
So a 3rd and 4, and one of the more manageable third down setups for the Archers thus far.
Nice little conversion here for Southside. Give yourself a little bit of confidence in this drive. And just try to keep working your way back to the second half. Try to cut it down to a certain number if you can.
And a pass to Kamari Bragg. He'll be about a yard short of the line of scrimmage from that previous play. And now the punt team will come out as the Archers face a 4th and 4 from their own 41. Mason Englert will stand right around the 30 to receive this punt. Trevor Hapner back deep to kick. Not getting much pressure. Hapner sends a booming kick right to the 25-yard line.
Time to watch Mason Englert work here. Trying to cut it upfield if he can find some space.
Do see a flag on the far side as Englert tries to power past the 45. But a holding call on the return. So this should back the Chargers up.
Penalty marker, holding on Carroll.
See where the holding call happened, and so happened at the 40. So they'll back it up to the, looks like they'll back it up at the 29, which is where the Chargers will retake the field.
This Carroll offense. We'll see if they look to go a little bit more conservative here. Maybe put the ball on the ground, try to work on some things that they haven't been as strong on this season. The run game, one of them. Not necessarily a weak point for this offense, but only 130 yards per game on the ground for Carroll.
And the pass thrown over and out of bounds. Thomas there defending, and maybe about 6 inches to a foot lower. That could have been picked.
I was going to say Becker was lucky that pass. Not a great pass, but not a good one either, as that one floated over just out of the hands. Missed his receiver and missed Thomas. Thomas also not as much length, just at 5'4" for the sophomore.
And a flag. Malone getting in there, but see if a defensive pass interference is called, and indeed it is, saying Malone got in there a little bit early.
So he's a little too tight on the receiver there, Rudolph. And especially when it's a quick move like that, it's going to draw the flag of the official. His first 2 plays were a good-looking set there for the secondary of Southside, an area that's going to be attacked by Carroll offensively and has so far tonight.
So from their own 44, Becker looking to throw yet again. He'll evade some pressure and complete the pass to Bowden Height.
Becker's pass complete to Height.
And good job there by Height, just getting out to that right side. I think Carroll was looking to set up the screen downfield. That's why that Southside front was able to get in the backfield so quick. Becker made that initial move, though, to escape the defender. Good job of extending the play there for Jeffrey Becker.
Carroll wasting no time, 2nd and inches.
And they're going to check.
And they will call it a first down.
A little confusion there by the officials. That ball was spotted well beyond the mark. So a little miscommunication there, but we'll push on.
And these Carroll Chargers not wasting much time to get up to the line. Becker, the ball's out.
Ball fumbled, recovered by Becker.
And he'll fall right back on top of it.
Yeah,
but lose 4 yards in the process.
That's the second time tonight Carroll's had struggles handing the ball off. Just a little miscommunication there between the running back and quarterback. Becker able to fall on it, though, for the second consecutive time.
Becker now back to pass. And a flag thrown, but the pass was complete. Now to Cooper Rudolph. Now they're saying pass incomplete, but see which way the flag sends the football.
Near the line of scrimmage, so keep out or look out for another holding maybe.
Penalty is an ineligible man downfield on Carroll.
Ineligible man downfield for the Chargers.
New one to mark off on the penalty bingo tonight.
So now a 2nd and 19. Three receivers to the left.
So Carroll's starting to take their time a little bit more offensively here. Obviously not in a big rush as that pass just a little out of the hands of Rudolph.
May have had a little too much heat given how much space he had, but
so the pass was pretty hot, but I think Rudolph might have slipped just a little bit. He's kind of not necessarily shaken up, but might have just slipped that left foot forward a little bit when he was trying to plant to catch that ball.
So now from their own 45, a 3rd and 19. Becker looking to throw, going down the left side, and the pass is broken up. Malone doing a nice job getting a hand on it.
Yeah, and Becker's had a couple of those passes tonight where he hasn't really looked like himself. Maybe a little bit of pressure forcing the underthrow there, but good coverage from Malone in the Southside secondary. And I think that's the first third down stop for Southside defensively tonight. So Carroll not going to have to punt.
So the first time we'll see Mason Englert back, and back to receive for the Archers is Javante Malone.
Carroll doesn't punt too often. If I'm Southside, I might send everybody here. Just try to get some momentum.
They do send about 8. Booming punt will take a Southside bounce and be marked down at the 21-yard line.
Good looking line drive there for Mason Englert. That ball was popped and stuck right near the 15-yard line. That ball did not move very much. The return man didn't even move. I think Malone was back to try to receive it, and he just let it drop. Good punt by Englert.
Definitely starting to cool down here at Carroll High School. Started the game around 77 degrees. Definitely has cooled off here in about the first hour of game time.
Say we're down to 70 tonight, and this might be our last look, this last stretch or week or so here of some really nice weather in the northern Indiana area. I know it's supposed to cool down as we get deeper. Obviously, fall season comes around, but I know some really low temps, near record temps, might meet us as the final weeks of the SEC season wraps up.
And a nice first down reception for Kamari Bragg, who will pick up about 3 or 4 yards.
Second down.
I will add about the weather, Tyler. This year's a much different change for a much more greedy change, I think, for these teams. If I remember correctly, last year we had a lot of issues with rain early on in the season, and it was not kind of field conditions.
On 2nd and 7, Norfleet gets it out quickly. They're saying that's a live ball. And the recovery made by Carroll. Cade Dinan.
So Dinan was there, Valdez was there, a lot of guys on that for Carroll, and that Southside offense not very motivated. As a little bit unsure now if that was a live ball or not.
Hard to tell from this vantage point.
So it was tough to see. And Carroll's going to get some good position here on the turnover. As they're looking to break the 50 mark before we even reach halftime. Carroll's highest scoring game this season, that shootout against Northside on September 4th. That was a win, 78-48. We might see some similar numbers here depending on how Carroll plays this.
So now it appears that Becker will work from under center. Haven't seen that much, if at all, tonight.
If at all, that's this season, really.
Timeout. Carroll.
And the Chargers take a timeout, so we will as well. We have 6:11 to go here in the first half. Carroll leading 42-0.
Carroll Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football.
Welcome back. A 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line, and after the Carroll timeout, Becker will work from the shotgun in the pistol. And he gives it off. Lazoff easily working into the end zone for the Charger touchdown.
Just one play once again needed there for Carroll.
And give credit to that offensive line doing a nice job of creating some holes there.
Yeah, well, another nice touchdown run here for Lazoff. Right up the middle. And not too much push there.
So the kick is good for Lopez. 7 touchdowns on the board, and we still have half of the second quarter. Carroll leading. We'll be back in a moment.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
Kick is received around the 5, and Javonte Malone trying to cut back, but he won't find much running room, and the Archers will come back out on offense, still looking for their first score, trying to find some momentum, but they'll have a long field to work with here.
Almost a 50-point lead for Carroll with still 6 minutes, really, 5:59 left in the second quarter. Southside just looking for any pulse offensively, looking for some momentum, maybe move the ball on the ground and try to open it up. Why not? Carroll has played the run all night long. Take a shot here. Really nothing to lose at this point. Try to build on something as we continue on the rest of the season and even in the night. Still have a second half here to play for.
Norfleet will give it to Morris. And Morris working off tackle on the left side will be swallowed by the Carroll defense. He'll pick up a gain of about 3.
Yeah, that forefront for Carroll defensively has done a really nice job of limiting Morris. They haven't necessarily been able to stop him completely, but limiting those those big chunk yards, just
Second down.
short yardage plays here on the ground for Southside.
So the Archers, who typically rotate backs around, really riding Morris, but this time the give
Muncie on the tackle.
goes to Anthony Thomas.
Thomas, the
Good looking tackle there from Reeve Muncie, chasing down
third down.
Thomas. Take a look at the replay. Nice looking run there from Thomas, cutting up the line, and then Muncie chases him back.
So a 3rd and 3 for the Archers. Continuing to work with a single receiver to the right side of Norfleet. He'll give it off. And not much running room. A couple Chargers diving in as the ball may have squirted out, but official saying the ball was down, and
Thomas looked like he might have had some space there to make that play happen and convert in the first down, but once again, Carroll in on the coverage. Really holding down Southside offensively.
Balin still surprised not to see Southside try and spread it out a little bit more. As you said, not much to lose, down by 7 touchdowns with now just under 4 minutes to go in the first half.
You know, you try to look for some positives in a game like this where the score gets lopsided, and really putting it on the ground and putting it in the teeth of that defense hasn't been a positive. Really, why not try to open it up, try to push it downfield through the air? I mean, try to take something and build on it at least.
Englert returning that punt just past the 30-yard line, but a flag thrown down right in the middle of the field. Actually, 3 flags. So likely expecting a penalty on the return team here.
I'd imagine as soon as we sort through the laundry on the field, there's been a lot of flags tonight, especially in a game that's, you know, not quite the closest, I'd say. Put it
generously.
Put it generously. As we're still sorting through the confusion on the field. Coach Dinan's confused as well as he's out near the 40-yard line. I can see him trying to get the look. So offset penalties. So we're going to re-kick it. And I can hear from the Carroll sideline shouting block team. So Carroll's going to be coming hot.
Offsetting penalties keep this a 4th and 2. And it did appear that had Hapner maybe held that ball for half second more, he may have been able to just tuck it and run. Low snap here for Hapner, and he'll send a low punt to the right side, and that will take a south side roll. Stop just outside the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Carroll's had a couple of short play drives tonight, but give a lot of credit to Trevor Hapner. Really just helping Southside at least put Carroll in a more challenging spot as far as field position goes. Helping that defense out the best he can. Changing fields as the Southside offense is stalled tonight.
So now a change at quarterback. Logan Swain in the shotgun.
Yeah, we wondered at what point in this one we might see Becker go to the bench and just try to stay healthy. It's a big game for Carroll coming up. Obviously, still in play for the 3-way tie in the SAC conference, but next week things start to get serious as Carroll will take on Homestead. That'll be at Homestead. And what I would assume would be the game of the week here on Summit City Sports. It's probably going to be the biggest one in the area. Could have a little bit more weight depending on the result of that Dwenger and Concordia game. Last I heard, Dwenger up 17-6. I don't know where that one's at.
But a holding call on second down, taking away what would have been a first down run by Luke Carmody. So now with under 3 minutes to go, pass out to the right side and some running room for Coverstone.
Number 13, Logan Swain in at quarterback. Pass complete.
Coverstone got upfield there, but I think he just got that foot on the line out of bounds.
35, that play good for the Charger. First down.
As far as Homestead, Spartans up 14 points, 28-14 the score with 3:05 left in the first half against Northside. Obviously, Homestead has to take care of business to make that game even more important against Carroll next Friday night. It's a tough matchup against the Legends.
So after a Carmody first down run, Southside taking a timeout, so we will as well. Keep it right here with Summit City Sports.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think, that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We believe in sharing positive stories.
Welcome back. After the timeout from the 25-yard line, the give is to Carmody, open field, and he will go into the end zone untouched for the Charger touchdown.
Yeah, Carroll breaks the 50-point mark. Nice looking run there from Carmody right up the middle. Lazoff had a couple of those earlier as well. Just take a look at it on the Traction Athletic Performance replay. And trying to get it on the replay there. Yes, we're having problems getting the replay to pop up. Give us just 1 second here as we wait on the extra point.
Extra point up and good. So that puts it at Carroll 56, Southside 0.
There we go. To get a look at the replay here before we go to break. As Carmody right up the middle. I don't know if he got touched that entire run. Good looking run there from Carmody, though. Second touchdown of the season for him.
So with that, 2:25 to go in the first half, we'll step aside, Carroll leading.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was
a low kick, and this one will skip out of bounds. So another kick out of bounds committed by Carroll, and Southside will again get another favorable starting position.
So we saw Carroll put in some second-teamers on offense. I still see a good mix of first-teamers heading out on the field for Carroll defensively.
So now down to 2:25 in the first half. Southside still looking for that first score and an opportunity to play some situational football, as they're limited on time and looking to get on the board before we close out the first half.
And give it your best shot at the 2-minute drill here if you're Southside. Just try to find something you can build on offensively out of this game, and this might be it.
And pass complete. An impressive reception right there by Javante Malone. And the obvious question, where has this been all game?
That's what I'm saying. I really wish Southside would have gone to the air. It might not have made a difference, but I really think they would have had more success moving the ball. We'll take a look at it on the Traction Athletic Performance replay. Nice looking pass here from Norfleet into the hands of Malone, right over the defender there for Carroll, as that was Dinan getting tied up with Malone.
So that sets up the Archers for a double reverse play. Trevor Hapner now working on the right side, getting some blocks in the first down. He'll gain a first down and then a few yards more.
It's good to see Hapner getting worked in there offensively for Southside. Just an overall great athlete who can make plays.
Ball will be marked at the 22-yard line.
And now for Southside, two of the more positive offensive plays you've had all night here. 1:36 left in the first half.
So still not much time to waste, and now working back down to a two-receiver set. Norfleet gives the ball off to Matthew Morris. He makes a nice cut, but won't get much after that gain of 3, maybe 4 on first down.
Gonna need another shot at the end zone here for Southside, as moving it on the ground is going to take up a lot of time. Got about a minute left in the half.
Second down.
So we'll see if Southside elects to use any timeouts. So we're now under 50 seconds to go. Norfleet rolling left, evades some pressure, and looked to be grabbed by the collar, but I don't see a flag.
That could have been a horse collar. It's a tough play there for Norfleet, just trying to find some space and evade the tackle.
So down to 25 seconds on the clock, and the Archers likely having to send it to the end zone here.
Yeah, we set up a 3rd and long.
Down to 10 seconds, so this will very likely be the final play of the half. We'll see if Southside can get the play off.
4 seconds now. They're just taking their time. They might not even run a play. Just get it off.
Screenplay, and I think that might have been an illegal touching.
I was going to say, yeah. I don't think 67 was registered as a receiver. It's not going to matter. It was an incompletion anyway. And that will end a half for Carroll that really showcased what the offense is capable of and a good response after the loss last week against Dwenger.
So that will close out the first half. The Chargers leading 56-0. We'll take a break. Keep it right here with Summit City Sports.
We have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere.
A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
You see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcast. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent.
Sure we have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere.
A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
Did you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcast. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. The homecoming court just getting recognized here at halftime. Carroll leading 56-0. Tyler Sorg here alongside Balin Height. And we'll take this opportunity to read a word from our sponsors. Today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports, like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Kelly Automotive Group is Indiana's #1 automotive group. With over 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from, please visit drivekelly.com. Simple, transparent, reliable. Tom Steel Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They will help you find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services, like brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions. Enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. You're invited to join ProFed Credit Union, where we get to know you to better serve you. Sign up online in 5 minutes or stop by a branch. Join ProFed today and start owning your financial future at profedcu.org. At Ottenweiler Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process. From bid to build, visit OttenweilerContracting.com. Summit Volleyball 14 and under tryouts start September 30th. Join their lead coaches, Trish Miller, Allie Bennett, and Doug Helsum, September 30th at 7:30 at the Parkview Sport One Fieldhouse. Sign up today at SummitVB.com. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. El Azteca Mexican Restaurant has been a Fort Wayne favorite since 1973. El Azteca Mexican recipes are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Visit elaztecarestaurant.com. iCryo specializes in whole-body cryotherapy, body sculpting, cryofacials, infrared sauna, and compression therapy services. Check out Jalen Smith's signature location on Coliseum Boulevard by Blaze Pizza. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. We serve every level of athlete with our integrated sports medicine team, including the region's only specialized athletic rehab facility. Learn more about our services by logging on to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. We've got about 2 minutes before the start of the second half. Carroll leading 56-0. We'll be back after this. You're watching SummitCitySports.com.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We believe in sharing positive stories and are excited to set the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Basketball is such a reactionary sport, and we talk all the time about your first 3 steps are the most important: powering out, exploding, the things that they're teaching our kids with changing direction quicker, getting a stronger core. Those things have been very valuable for our athletes. Everything that Parkview Sports Medicine has done has been very applicable to what we do on the court. We're learning how to control our bodies, and that's something that I think our girls have really benefited from. Some of our girls who had some speed and quickness now are becoming more explosive.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
Excited about the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think, you know, that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We believe in sharing positive stories and are excited to set the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Basketball is such a reactionary sport, and we talk all the time about your first 3 steps are the most important: powering out, exploding, the things that they're teaching our kids with changing direction quicker, getting a stronger core. Those things have been very valuable for our athletes. Everything that Parkview Sports Medicine has done has been very applicable to what we do on the court. We're learning how to control our bodies, and that's something that I think our girls have really benefited from. Some of our girls who had some speed and quickness now are becoming more explosive.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome back to Carroll High School. Tyler Sorg here with Balin Height. Carroll leading 56-0. And after a tough first half for the Archers, it will certainly be an interesting follow for the second half to see what they try and come up with. Had a nice little drive together there at the end of the first half, but just time ran out on them.
Well, absolutely, Tyler. And there was some momentum there for the offense at the end of the half. But the biggest thing now is you're going to be not only playing against Carroll if you're Southside, you're going to be playing against the running clock. It's a newer rule in the state of Indiana here, implemented in the last 2 seasons, where if a team is up 35 points or more in the second half at any point, the running clock starts, and I believe it's only stopped on timeouts and injuries. So just really just
and after the extra point.
Extra point. Okay, so there's no stoppage there. So only a couple of things that can really stop this clock for Southside. And, you know, obviously you look at the score, it's a pretty lopsided one. You'd expect Carroll to throw in some second-teamers in there as well. But for Southside, just really look for something you can push that momentum into next week. You've got a matchup against your rival Northside, a team who has given teams some fits, a lot of big-time players, and not a great start there as that kick starts inbounds. And Southside just really, all they could do there was cover it up. Good kick there by Jester. But
yeah, absolutely. Southside taking a gamble there that ball was going to roll out of bounds, get a third flag on the kickoff after we had 2 out-of-bounds kicks by Carroll in the first half, but now a tough starting position. The furthest back South has started all night. So if Southside's to score here, they'll have to drive the ball 96 yards down the field.
Yeah, it's going to be tough here for Southside, as it really has been all night. They've been pretty challenged on the offensive end, and now you're in the shadow of your own end zone, really starting at the back of your own end zone. So we'll see what it looks like for Southside offensively.
First down give is to Anthony Thomas. And he will power ahead for a gain of 6, maybe 7. Looks like it will be closer to 7. And a solid start, considering how far they were backed up.
I'll say not a bad start for Southside on the ground. You know, Thomas with the carry. He's slated as the second guy behind Morris in the running game, but just a sophomore with a 5'4" frame and 123 pounds.
Another run play.
It's a little smaller on the field, but he uses that speed. And he gets to the outside there, but he's made some plays defensively tonight, making plays now on the ground.
First down picked up there as Thomas is pushed out on the near side.
Like we mentioned earlier, Tyler, even though with the out of bounds there, clock still continuing to run. Southside would have a long way to go before they can get this one even in range of starting the clock back up.
Norfleet from under center. An inside run this time for Matthew Morris, and he won't find any room to work with.
So there's that stop from Carroll, and like we mentioned earlier, really just playing the run all night long. They've kind of had the mentality of try to beat us through the air.
And if you're Southside, obviously at this point, the final score, the final result, it's been decided, but an opportunity here to maybe find some things to work on in the passing game, especially as we haven't seen too many passes. Now Norfleet rolling to the right side, looking for Trevor Hapner, and a slight overthrow there will set up a 3rd and 10.
And you talk about working on some things offensively, maybe a little bit of fine-tuning, changing your personnel as well. We've seen Hapner get a little bit more involved in the offense, started at the end of the first half. Now we see him getting a target there. But maybe that's something offensively Coach Norfleet wants to take maybe a little bigger look at, see what Hapner can offer, maybe through the air as well. And like I mentioned, you got that rivalry game next week. It's rivalry week in the SAC coming up as they will take on Northside. So imagine Northside come in as the favorite in that one as well.
Norfleet under some pressure, tries to get it away, does. Morris is there, but he will be stopped well short of a first down. Picks up about 3 yards there on 3rd down.
Now Norfleet a little shaken up there as he hops off, trying to just get off sides.
Trying to keep weight off of his left foot.
We'll see what Southside comes out, or the look is offensively at quarterback on their next drive.
And maybe on Southside's next offensive series, I'd like to see Hapner get a little bit more involved. And the ball stops right at the 48-yard line, which is where Logan Swain will likely lead the offense out on the field.
Looks like that's the case, as Becker was taken out on the second to last drive for the Chargers in the first half. And the helmet's off for Becker. His day's obviously done. And now we'll see what the senior, Logan Swain, can offer at quarterback. Led a couple of nice drives at the end of the first half. And now we got a flag.
Offside is called. So that will move the ball up 5 yards and set up the Chargers on the 43.
Tyler, we look at a situation in most seasons where you put up 56 points and you start to think, well, maybe that's the highest scoring output for a team, especially at the high school level. And that's just not simply the case for Carroll. I mean, the first game of the season, as we got a big run there.
Kiba.
Nice looking run there for him, but we take a look at the pass schedule for Carroll. 48 in the first game, 42 against Snyder, 76 against Northside, and then 52 against Northrop. Obviously, the 21 points, the low scoring output offensively for them in the loss against Dwenger last week. But Carroll comes into this game averaging 47 points, and this game's only going to help that average.
And a sack there on first down. King there in the backfield, and I believe that's the first Southside sack of the game.
Yeah, they had trouble getting Becker down in the backfield earlier in the game. Second sack of the game as we're getting. There hasn't been a whole lot of pressure in that backfield for Carroll. Man, that was a big-time hit.
Big pop right there on the second effort. Matthew Morris.
Yeah, Morris just sitting at 5'10 and 188, but he used all that frame on the hit. Try to see if we can grab the replay real quick. Might have been just a second late on it. Nope, we're going to be able to catch it here as we take a look at the AP Traction replay. As Morris just comes right over, and wow. That looked even more fierce on the replay.
So we're under 5 minutes in the third quarter. And Swain will take the shotgun snap on 3rd and long. Pass over the outstretched hands of Camden Hirschberger.
Yeah, Hirschberger, just one catch on the season for Carroll, and I mentioned a lot of these second teamers are going to get active in this one. And that one just over the outstretched hands. Hirschberger, one of the taller receivers for Carroll at 6'1", so he has the length to go up and get that one, but just out of his hands there.
So now a field goal attempt for Sebastian Lopez has been perfect on PATs tonight. And that kick will be good. Nice kick right there by Lopez. Makes the score 59-0.
And Lopez has a big-time leg. We saw him in action against Northrop for the first time, and he's 8 for 8. He's only got one make on the season, now 2. That first one was from 25 yards out, and he's got a leg. I've heard in practice he's been good from 50 and beyond, so pretty good leg there for Lopez.
And you don't see too many teams, especially that sort of a distance, opt to go for field goals, but certainly can make a difference, especially down the stretch when it gets to playoff time. And
we'll take a look at it on the replay there. And for Carroll, they've always had a wealth of really good kickers, even going back. Jack Shannon, just to rattle off a few. Trevor Horton just graduated last year, but Carroll has always had some guys who can seem to really get a leg on the ball.
So now back to receive Matthew Morris.
Morris still trying to have some fun out there, going with the music despite the lopsided score. It's good to see the spirits high for number 1 on Southside.
And Morris will receive the kick inside the 10, make a cut, be upended, and go down just past the 20.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was from the tackle there or just Morris trying to make the jump move there. Take a look at it on the athletic performance replay. That might have been off the hit, or it might have been a little bit more.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both there from Morris.
I feel like he may have been trying to make a cut there, and
kind of got hit to the side.
Down under 3.5 minutes in the third.
Hear a little bit of noise from the Carroll student section. It's the first night that the dubbed Neon Nation in the crowd.
Pitch out to Thomas.
Thomas on the carry.
A nice looking carry there from Anthony Thomas. Like I said, slotted as the backup running back, but
Who was that quarterback you said?
he's had some good looks.
So Tabron Laren's in at quarterback after Roosevelt Norfleet looked a little hobbled coming off the field, favoring his right leg.
Yeah, and that's a bit of a change there for Southside at quarterback. I know initially starting the season they had Quincy English in as the backup. Now we've got a change.
And a flag thrown on 2nd and short.
Southside starting to mix some different guys in the run game. Nearing 2:09 left in the third quarter. Like we mentioned earlier, running clock in play here, so regardless of the penalty, there is no stop. They run them right through.
That was a false start on Southside.
So a full start called, making it 2nd and 7. Laren's a 5'9", 205-pound quarterback. Burns from under center gives off to Thomas. Thomas trying to make a cut. And he will find some positive yardage, which will set up a 3rd and 4.
Bring some score updates, and like to remind everybody that these games are being brought to you by Summit City Sports as well, so always have the option to flip over and check out some other games around the Fort Wayne area. Northrop currently up 22-19 over Lures, and remember Northrop trying to chase their 3rd win of the season. They started the season 2-0. Now since have dropped 3 straight games. So Northrop looking for the rebound.
And we have a Carroll player down, so we'll step aside.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location where people know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome back. Laren's still in at quarterback, looking to throw. Ton of Chargers in the area, and he'll go down.
Yeah, that was kind of a broken play from the start. That Carroll defense just all over that play.
Maxton Weird getting involved there on the takedown.
This is a good look at what Carroll's got at the second level as far as their backups go and reserve guys go. And this could be some big experience that could pay dividends as we get closer to the postseason.
Booming punt from Trevor Hapner. Won't take much of a bounce, but that is an impressive punt.
I would say the leg of Trevor Hapner, I mean, among some other things that he's been able to do tonight, is as good an athlete as he is. It's funny to almost say that the punting's the high point, but he's made a lot of great plays, and that one was one of them. A great punt for Hapner, and that'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
We'll be right back.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
4th quarter set to begin, and we'll have a whistle. And another quarterback change for Carroll. Aaron Jackway. Jackway will run to the left side and step out of bounds.
That's a good look there from Carroll. They're on their 3rd quarterback of the evening. And that's Aaron Jackway, who's normally...
Aiden Williams.
Two
number 16.
Okay, so 2 number 16, so 1 offensive, 1 defensive. And that was a little bit of an option look there from Williams. He held on to that one.
Hayden Williams gives it off. Akiba on the carry. Not much yardage to be found there.
Second down.
Try to look for some scores from around the area here. Snyder up 14-6 over Wayne. That's near the end of the third quarter. Homestead up big now over Northside, 42-21.
And a nice run, able to work into the second level and being spun down. Wall Akiba.
Pulled down by 19, Jaden Morris. That play good for another Charger. First down. Fourth quarter score, Snyder 21, Wayne 6.
So under 10 minutes to go in the ball game.
Third quarter, Homestead 42, Northside.
Hayden Williams again will work in that usual Carroll pistol set. Two receivers left and right. Akiba making a nice move, avoiding the first tackler and getting out past the 30 for a gain of 3 yards.
Bishop Dwanger 31, Concordia 6.
So there's your answer as far as the Dwanger and Concordia game. Dwanger 31, Concordia 6. So good chance the Saints go undefeated the rest of the way this season. So that creates a little bit of a drama at the top of the SAC standings.
Williams on the run, and he'll have enough yardage to pick up the first down.
Play good for the Charger. First down.
19-yard line or 18?
18. Right foot is forward.
It's now a 1st and 10 for the Charger offense from the 18. Akiba in the backfield. And he'll get the give on the option play. So Balin, as we start to look ahead for both of these teams, if you're Southside, obviously not too much you can take from tonight's result, but what do they have ahead on their schedule?
You're looking at Northside, and that's a team that has struggled after coming out of the gate really hot. A lot of people expected them.
And a touchdown, Dylan Floyd.
16, Aiden Williams pass complete to number 12, Dylan Floyd in for Charger. Touchdown.
And this crowd still alive. Carroll High School getting excited.
Yeah, that's a big touchdown there for Dylan. He came in as a freshman at quarterback, sat the first 2 years, ended up losing the job to Jeffrey Becker, who we've seen tonight, and then took a year off, came back this year, his senior season, to play some football. They line him up at the tight end. He can do a lot of things offensively, but that's a really good moment and a really big moment there for Dylan Floyd as you see the celebration on the sideline there. Well, Tiger Woods putting it in.
Chargers 66, Archers 0. We'll take a timeout.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location where people know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We believe in sharing positive stories and are excited to set the standard for how high school sports should be covered.
Welcome back. Chargers leading 66-0. And that kick will bounce into the end zone for the touchback. And now see who comes out at quarterback for the Archers. See if Laren's will be back out there or if it will be Norfleet. Then again, if Norfleet is any bit hobbled, may just be best to save him for next week.
Yeah, try to save him for rivalry week next week against Northside. Obviously, you're not playing for a whole lot left in this game. Running clock down 66-0 here. You just want to try to keep everybody healthy, try to move on and get out to the next week as quick as you can here.
So it will be Laren's in the gun, and quick pass out to the right side, Matthew Morris. Chargers sniff that one out and push Morris out after a short gain.
Pushed out of bounds by Steely. Second down.
And just difficult for both teams after a game so lopsided to come away with any major revelations about your team.
Yeah, Carroll obviously did Carroll things, and they wanted to move the ball quick and score. And they were able to do that from pretty early on, putting this game out of the way really in the first quarter. So there's the positive for Carroll and for Southside, rather. Like I said, it's a positive. You can get out of here healthy. And you can just try to find something to build on as you head into next week.
So with 5:22 to go in the game, Southside takes a timeout. We'll be back after the break. You're watching SAC football.
Carroll Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Come see us in Decatur at the 2733 Auto Mall and shop 7 brands in one location. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will
even. Welcome back. Pitch out to the left side. Thomas getting some nice running room, and he'll go for about 15 plus yards there on the second down carry.
And that timeout stopped the running clock, so now it's going. That was one of the first stoppages of the second half, outside of the quarter break, obviously.
Southside spreading things out. Laren's rolling right, looking to throw. And unable to find Kamari Bragg. Threw it in his direction, but likely just having to get that ball away. So now just reaching under the 4-minute mark. And maybe Southside here with an opportunity to put some points on the board before we close it out.
Yeah, just build some confidence and try to get 0 off the board if you can.
Laren's escaping some pressure. Pass nearly intercepted. Wade Steinbarger getting involved there.
Yeah, Steinbarger just got enough of that one and almost able to tip it into his own hands.
And without knowing what the status is of Roosevelt Norfleet, an important opportunity for Lahrens is if Norfleet is seriously hurt, Lahrens could be getting some serious playing time.
Well, that's right. You got to get comfortable in that role, especially you mentioned if there is an injury to Norfleet, significant enough to keep him out of next game or even a couple of games. So you're looking for a positive or something you can take out of this game. It's just building some confidence there behind center.
Pass incomplete in the direction of Ashton Johnson. Johnson had a big touchdown last week. Game at home against Wayne. So now on 4th down, it'll be Trevor Hapner again on the punt. And a flag coming in for 12 men on the field. Bowden Height on the return. Height working to the left side, getting past the 50. Still powering through. And he'll be pushed out just before the 40.
It was a pretty good return there from Height, but ultimately too many men on the field for Carroll's going to push that one back to the spot of the catch and even further.
I think that's just a symptom of being late in the game, putting some reserves in. I saw even about 10, 12 seconds before the snap, 2 other players running off the field.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there from the Chargers.
Substitution infraction on Carroll.
I mentioned earlier, we're getting all different kinds of penalties getting called tonight. Substitution infraction. There's another one to scratch off the bingo card at home.
So the game clock's still moving. Play clock is stopped. We're down to 1:10. It's maybe a punt and 1 or 2 more opportunities on offense. So we're down to the final 60 seconds.
Down to a minute left.
Hapner, stronger kick, and Height will fall on top of it just inside the 20. And very likely one final play for the Chargers.
I was going to say, I think that'll be it. I don't even know if Carroll's going to get a play off. I know the play clock's stopped at this point, so
yeah, that will do it.
So that'll be it. So Carroll ultimately with that offense came out with the first punch pretty quick and put it out of reach before really even the first quarter was over, Tyler. So what we're seeing is what's customary around the league. And so there's so this is what we're seeing customary, like I was getting ready to say, across all of high school football with the COVID, guidelines in place. No more handshake lines, a little bit of a different look, but Carroll ultimately comes out and takes care of business.
So we'll take one final break as the Chargers pick up win 5 on the season, come back and wrap things up here with you from Carroll High School.
Excited about the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We believe in sharing positive stories and are excited to set the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Basketball is such a reactionary sport, and we talk all the time about your first three steps are the most important: powering out, exploding, the things that they're teaching our kids with changing direction quicker, getting a stronger core. Those things have been very valuable for our athletes. Everything that Parkview Sports Medicine has done has been very applicable to what we do on the court. We're learning how to control our bodies, and that's something that I think our girls have really benefited from. Some of our girls who had some speed and quickness now are becoming more explosive.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
All right. I'll welcome us back here as we're going to go through a couple of the highlights in this one. We mentioned the lopsided score. Carroll finishes at 66-0, and this is what got the scoring started for Carroll, as it has really all season long. Becker finding Englert in the end zone, and Englert just busted the coverage there and was wide open. Had a white jersey around him for that first touchdown for Carroll, and it really didn't stop there in that first quarter. As we will move it along here, try to find the next score for Carroll. So this wasn't the score, but this was a nice little catch here from Mason Englert on the ensuing drive for Carroll. As Becker launches it, and Englert just with the extension cuts it in for about 5 yards out. And that drive was finished off by a 5-yard Jeff Becker run.
So Becker counting for 5 total touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 4 in the air, and his impressive season continues. So as we look ahead to the following week, as we mentioned, Carroll going to Homestead and Southside with a rivalry matchup against Northside, on the road. So the Chargers moving to 5-1 on the season. The Archers falling to 1-5. And that will do it from us here tonight. Final score, Carroll 66, Southside 0. For Thomas Nolan on the camera and Balin Height alongside me, this has been Tyler Sorg with a presentation of SAC football on Summit City Sports.
Sure, we have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere.
A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
Do you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however